Welcome to another episode of the Open Podcast. We're on episode 6 already. Wow, time sure flies.
The number 6, the big one.
We're like at the same amount of, like before we retired, so
Yeah. We retired.
You retired.
Took a little break.
We got dragged out of retirement due to popular demand.
One last
no one
job.
listens.
This is the one for sure. People are gonna watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flareon always listens, so this one's for you, Flareon.
Hey, I listen too.
Oh, and March, this one's for you, March.
Yeah, thank you.
When do you listen? Because YouTube was saying that only one person actually watched the whole thing. So
I listen in the gym sometimes. Yeah. I need something.
I'm listening right now. That's all the effort you're getting out of me.
damn.
So how's the podcast then, Cuber?
How's the what?
How's the podcast? Listening to a podcast?
Oh, it's going great. Tell me all about it, Persona.
Okay, then let's do our kickoff question, and for this time I had the question prepared. What game do you want to see a remake of? And maybe for the people in the comments, because we know you're all listening, why do you think we're talking about remakes? Whatever could have set this off.
What's a remake?
What's a remake? Well,
Yeah,
why
what's-
don't you tell the people what is a remake, and
Tell
what
us.
game do you want to see a remake of?
A
Tell-
remake
tell
is
the-
when you
wait.
something that has already been made.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but what's the difference between a remake and a remaster? Because some people don't know, apparently.
Well, the problem I feel is that like those two terms sometimes are used interchangeably, right? Like,
Yeah.
like right now we're talking about it because Final Fantasy VII, like the newest game is called the remake, but is it
Yeah, but
technically
that's
remake?
also that's
it? It's
more
not-
reimagining.
reimagining, and then there's remastered, and then there's just a re-release. It'd be like there's so many fucking re's
And
in
then there's
gaming.
ports.
Also port,
Yeah.
HD remaster.
HD remaster. There you go. Right. So like, like no one's policing language anymore in gaming, right? So anyone can use whatever fucking term
In
they think sounds
general.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need more language police.
Exactly. How dare people be technically wrong?
God damn it. Disgusting.
Exactly. The French have it right
Yeah.
with their language police.
I thought it was only the French Canadians, the Québécois.
No, I think France has like there's a government institute that polices. Well, not polices, but like they're very insistent on like
Good.
terms, right? Like for
for
example,
them.
they don't like French people saying the word video game because that's an English word. They want people to say video game but in French.
Oh yeah, I heard somewhere that they like almost how do you call it? Demanded people to use the French word instead of.
Is it les jeux vidéo?
I think so, yeah. Right. They actually got upset about that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Exactly. But onto
Would be funny if they had to say video game mais en français.
all right, but for the actual question, what video game I would like to see remade? I think it's Fire Emblem as a series always does like remakes of older games, right? Because
Yeah.
they've been like 20
Shadow
years
Dragon.
now. Shadow Dragon is the big one. The last one they did was Fire Emblem Echoes, which was I guess a remake
NES.
of
Yeah.
no, yeah, it was a remake of the second
Right.
game. Yes.
Yeah.
And so they haven't done well. They've done 3, but that was on the DS, and that never got released into English for some weird reason. But I want to see a remake of Fire Emblem 4 because that game is the one that I feel like when it releases, people will have some very interesting ideas about it. Like it's probably the most unique game in the series, having played the original, right? Also
Is
one
that
of
the
the
one-
darkest games in the series.
Is that the one with Roy or?
No, the one with Roy is 6.
Oh, which
4
one
is the
four?
one with Sigurd and Seliph, right?
Where did it originally release on?
It was on the Famicom, right?
Oh, that's a very old one.
Yeah.
You don't even know what Fire Emblem Roy is from? Come on, Wesley.
Yeah, he's Game Boy era. Game Boy
I only
Advance era.
know. I only know he released in Smash Melee before its own game. That's the only
He
thing
did,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
The game that Roy's from, it was the first one that released in the West.
No, it wasn't.
Not?
No. Fire Emblem 7 was the first to release in the West. Fire Emblem 6 was the last game not to have an international.
I thought
Actually,
it was
not
just
the
called
last.
Fire Emblem in the West.
It was called Fire Emblem in the West. In Japan, I believe it was called. Roy's game was called Sword of Seals.
Stones?
And
Oh,
then Fire Emblem 7, which did get released in the West, is called Blazing Blade, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was also
Yeah,
with our
now
red
I'm
hair.
really confused.
But-
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm glad that there's another proper Fire Emblem fan amongst us.
I just I just kind of went off there, but Fire Emblem 4 is a phenomenal game. Again, one of the most unique in the series for just doing a lot of things that other games haven't done, but also starting the trend of you can get closer with your characters. You're encouraged to invest more into them, right?
Yeah.
And the way the story develops, I think a lot of people will have very interesting opinions on it. I feel. So I'm excited for when that comes out. If it comes out. It probably will.
Nice.
Okay, very good answer. Kubert,
It is a great question, and
thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
worked hard on it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It actually is a very good question, yeah.
I don't actually have a video game that immediately that springs out of me wanting a remake of it, but I guess the sentiment of it is I would like to see more video games of more remakes of games that had a lot of promise but were held back due to whatever technological advancements were happening at the time that could have a better time of shining now, of having their idea properly executed,
Yeah, I fully agree.
rather
one.
than remaking just the winners of the popularity votes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know one. Maybe Pokemon Scarlet and Violet would be a good one.
Wait, what?
Hey, they weren't held back by hardware.
Oh.
They were just held back by having a terrible developer.
They're held
Yeah.
back by Nintendo.
If
Oh,
Game
more
Freak
Game
ever
Freak, I think.
if Game Freak ever learns their lesson and tries to try and decides to try again, then maybe they could
Then they
remake
can
Scarlet
remake
and
it.
Violet.
I think they only will if the games don't sell anymore, but
Scarlet and Violet, the good edition.
Is X and Y next up for a remake?
no, Black and White.
Oh, Black and White, yeah.
Oh,
Black
right,
and White. Okay, that's
And I think, yeah, probably for sure on the next console, but how it
Yeah.
will look,
It will happen.
yeah.
it will happen. You heard
yeah. Will
it
it
here
get the
first,
same
folks.
treatment as Gen 4 will?
In 2 years,
With the beautiful
It's
graphics.
just gonna be chibis.
yeah, in 2 years, Pokemon will be 30 years old, and people think that will be like big games. But
do we
They
need-
care?
Do they really need to do a big thing for the series every 5 years if it gets to that
No.
point, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I can see 25th anniversary, but are we really gonna have to do something for like 30th,
I mean-
35th, 40?
Yeah, I didn't care about my own 30th birthday, so...
Exactly.
Oh, Wes, what is a game that you would like to see a remake of?
That's a very good one. I'm scrolling through my favorite game list, and what I would like is like a claymation remake of Earthbound would be nice.
Claymation
Yep.
Earthbound. Okay.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like
their-
the original art,
yeah. I think
but then
The-
made into actual game
Yeah.
assets.
the game itself doesn't really need it, but more visually, I think it would be a pleasing art style too.
I mean, I guess a lot of people would appreciate the some streamlining of the menus and the inventory.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think that's the
was the
problem
biggest
I've
issue
heard
for
from
me as
most
well.
people. Yeah,
Like
I personally didn't mind, but I can see how it's annoying to a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have enough inventory space at some point because you had some items you had to keep basically, but they took up space.
That's because it's a survival horror game. Man. It's core.
But yeah, I would like that game. But other than that, I'm looking maybe. Yeah, the first Metroid already got a remake, which is Zero Mission,
Yep.
and it's on
Second
its
Metroid also got a remake.
yeah on itself it's already good enough, and it aged fine for me. So, and other than that, I'm scrolling, but I don't know, they all nothing pops up. Like no, I would say a Pokemon game, but the current state of Pokemon, I don't really want one. And maybe the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, but on the other hand, I don't know if it's
Does it need it?
yeah,
No.
maybe if it's got a treatment like Tropical Freeze, like they redo some levels with yeah 3D stuff. I don't know how to,
I really love the aesthetics of the
but
originals.
yeah, but other than or
There's something
yeah,
about them. The dark, what is it? Almost.
I like the pre-rendered 3D art. And it's I'm playing Final Fantasy VII now, and even though I never played back in the day, it still feels nostalgic to me because they pre-rendered the environments, and I really like that. It's
Yeah.
it's probably one of if not my favorite kind of art style from back in the day. And maybe Batman Arkham City. I mean, they do remaster it, and that's just upscaling the resolution. But if they like redid the whole game with current graphics, that would be very nice. But I don't think there's on the other hand, it's not really neat. It would be a fun extra, but I'm not really waiting for a remake for that
Yeah.
game or something. But other than that, not really a game pops up. So I'm happy with how the games are already now.
Yeah. Oh, I was looking at it for myself after having posited the question, and I think I came to pretty much the same conclusion as what Kira was saying. There, I do think there is just too many remakes in general these days. But yeah, looking through my favorite game lists, I was also thinking like I don't really need a remake of that. Earthbound Claymation would be fun, but also not really necessary.
Yeah.
Okami has had a remake. Silent Hill 2 is getting a remake, and I'm not even sure if I want to play that.
I speaking of which, the Resident Evil remakes, I think those are like unique
Yes,
enough to be
yeah.
be a new game or
I
something.
was actually just gonna bring Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games, as it of many other people's. But I always thought that it doesn't need a remake. It's
Yeah.
great the way it is. But then the Resi 4 remake came out, and it's absolutely amazing, and I had a great time with it.
Yeah.
So I guess in that sense, even games that don't really need it can still, when it comes out, can still turns out that they did need it.
Yeah, it depends on how lazy or ambitious the remake is, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, would it not just be considered like its own game, but like based off
it's
of
more
another game
yeah,
and shares the
more-
same name?
More reimagining like Final Fantasy VII remake. Like those two can't be compared aside from the characters it has. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say Resident Evil 4 is a true remake in every meaning of the word. It's a remake. It's a love letter to the original. It's the best of what a remake can be.
Yeah, that's fair.
agree.
Like, if it's just like a carbon copy of the game, right, then yeah, what's the point of it, right? I mean, sure, you bring it, maybe if you bring it on a new system and like give it some HD, but then that's more like an HD remaster, if anything else, right? Not like an actual like remake. And I think in the term itself, like you need to actually like remake something. Maybe use the original as a base, but you are fundamentally remaking the game.
I think Resident Evil 1 remake was a very good remake, and honestly kind of necessary.
I still need to play it.
If you look at the original Resident Evil 1 with all its jank and what Resident Evil 1 remake did for it, that just brought it to a whole new level. But the game that I would like to see a remake of is Persona 2. And
yeah.
it could be a way to just bring both halves of the game into one. They've never properly released in the West on like a single platform. One of the parts got released on PlayStation,
Yeah,
localized,
it
and
was
one
on-
of the parts got for PSP or PS Vita. I can't remember
Okay, I think
which one.
Persona 1 was remade onto the PSP, right? And then Persona 2 was two parts, Eternal Punishment and
Yes.
Original Sin.
And
I
one
think
of them was
only
brought to the West on PlayStation, and one was brought to the West in their remake on, I think it was Vita, but it was a different one.
Let's see.
So both parts did get released in the West, but on different platforms of consoles, which is wild.
Yeah, Innocent Sin got brought to the West as a PSP game,
Yes.
right? And then it's Eternal Punishment, which is weirder because that's technically the second part of the
Yes.
Persona 2 overall story, and that never got released. No, it got released on PlayStation. Never got released
Yes,
on PlayStation Portable.
exactly.
Yes, because I don't know, Atlas is fucking weird sometimes.
But also the gameplay could use an update. I think the story is amazing, although I'm not sure how they're going to deal with.
I've not played the game, but I
Führer.
know one character.
Yeah. But in the story, it totally makes sense. When I saw that first, I was like, oh man, what trash is this? What
Yeah.
dumpster fire?
Yeah.
What
did they
edgy
cook
thing that
up
they
in
want to
this
do?
Story, but actually, it totally fits in the story and it makes sense.
Now,
Yeah.
my question to you is: would you want it remade in like the original Persona 1, Persona 2 gameplay, or more similar to?
No, I
Persona
think
3?
here I would like an updated version of it.
Just
Like-
an updated
I mean-
like the original. Yeah, the original games were like kind of isometric.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like it to be more Persona 3 and onward style.
Like Reloaded, that's coming.
Yes, yes. Or maybe even something else. Maybe something completely different, or maybe just a very well updated version of the isometric style. Because honestly, maybe it was just that I never fully understood the gameplay. It just didn't work for me.
Right.
I liked the game overall, but the battles it was very tough to get through.
I'm trying to think of a Shin Megami Tensei game. The ones released on DS actually kept that
Yes.
same isometric style,
True,
and I feel like
love-
those worked
yes.
really well. Yeah.
Those work really well. I love those games.
I forget what they're called right now.
Didn't they do also the developers?
Devil
do
Survivor, I
all-
think it was called.
What?
Devil Survivor, the ones on DS.
Yes, Devil
Yeah.
Survivor.
Yeah,
yes.
those were really good.
Yeah,
Didn't the developers do a poll like which game do you want to see remade or something?
I have no idea.
I think they did.
It
Like
might be.
half a year ago.
Yeah.
I think Devil Survivor was the first game I ever, or the first Shin Megami Tensei game I
Yeah.
ever played.
I feel like people would be interested in remakes of Persona 1 and 2 just because, you know, a lot
Yeah.
of people are just interested in, like, oh, Persona 3 onwards. But, like,
Yes.
you know, I'm sure some people are wondering, like, what the hell was Persona 1 and 2? Right?
How did they do?
I'm
Like,
one of
why
those.
do we never talk about the first two games?
We
I
don't
mean,
talk
yeah,
about
I only played half of 2, which was Innocent Sin.
Yeah.
But I really love the story. And there's a couple of narrative beats that are just amazing in that game.
I should play those games sometimes.
We have to see. I mean, their Persona franchise is one of the best runnings now. So
I mean, Atlas hasn't re-released the games in a while. I'm sure, like, I could...
1 and 2, yeah.
Do
If they
something
release
there.
them, it's probably a remake or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe depends on how good 3 will sell.
Or just release them as, like, a pack, you know? Like, it's technically 3 games, right? Even though the first game doesn't really have anything to do with the second game at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Maybe they showed it at Tokyo Game Show, but we don't know.
That's why we don't know anything about Tokyo Game Show.
So today's episode of the Open Podcast is brought to you by Magicola. It's the best cola since Nuka Cola, providing you a totally new taste sensation.
Slurp, slurp.
With 2,000 calories, this amazing product is made with fair trade Pikmin, freshly plucked personally by Magicant themselves. Use code OPEN at checkout to get free shipping to your porch. Only applicable for US American citizens, provided you have a porch.
What the hell?
Damn.
Yeah, so none of us can enjoy the Magicola experience, but for those of you out there
I feel
living
left
your
out.
life in the States, you might get some free shipping.
Guess I'll just have to
It's
settle for
fizzy
G Fuel.
flipping good. Did I say it right? Did I read
Yes,
it right?
you did.
Yes,
Thank
right on
you.
time, right on cue.
Yes.
Right on cue.
That's what they call
God, we're just comedy geniuses here, huh? Wow. Okay, let's get on with this because this is going nowhere.
So what
Tokyo
big
Game
news
Show.
happened?
Yeah, what happened at Tokyo Game Show, guys?
Let us
may
know
have
in the
been
comments,
games.
and we'll talk about it next time.
I wrote down some of the things that were shown at Tokyo Game Show.
Okay.
Though it isn't a lot because honestly it was terribly hard to find anything interesting that was shown off.
I found one piece of news.
Yeah, I think
Apparently,
it's because
200,000 people attended it, and that's the only news I have.
That's
That's
quite
a
a
lot.
bit.
And
That's
no one's
actually a lot
heard
of
from them
people.
since.
yeah, I think there was
yeah.
a PlayStation and a Nintendo Direct like a week or two
Yes.
before, so most announcements were at those live streams.
Yeah. And then Xbox was actually a Tokyo Game Show, but
Yeah.
they had no news.
Yeah, only trailers for some games.
They were just happy to be invited.
I think Capcom had the most interesting show, at least from what I could find. There was the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Yeah.
I think it was announced there.
Yes.
No, not announced. It's about a new trailer.
It was already announced, so
Yeah.
it was just a trailer. So
Yeah.
again, not very interesting. Wow. Okay. They had a lot of news about Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
Also not an announcement, I think. Just
No,
a lot
also
of
already revealed.
gameplay.
I might play that, but I don't know if I'd pay full price for it. Because I did like
Locked.
Dragon's Dogma 1.
I think their timing might be very good on this because as far as I could see, it's high fantasy action RPG. So it's not really like Baldur's Gate at all in gameplay, but
No,
the
no,
setting might drag some people in.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah. I mean, gameplay-wise, it also looks pretty polished, I think. Very smooth.
Yeah.
Very polished.
But, I don't know, usually those kind of games either do it or don't do it at all for me, so I'll have to try a demo or something to figure out if it's my game.
I only
Yep.
played the original Dragon's Dogma because I got it for free with PlayStation Plus. I mean, it was an alright game, right? It was had a lot of interesting ideas, and I liked the gameplay. It's just I'm not entirely sure this is like the big game that needs to be out. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, wasn't there already a second game like Ascension or something? Back in Dogma?
Oh, is that the?
I feel
online
like
one?
there's a.
I'll trust you on this one. I believe you totally.
Dragon Dogma. I don't know. I feel like there was a second game I tried.
Well, they released the game, I think, on PS4 or 5.
But a Dark Arison? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dragon's Dogma
Arisen?
Online.
I have no. In 2030, I have no idea. I tried the game.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do, and then I gave up. That's
No,
basically what
Dark
I did.
Arisen was the enhanced version released for PS4
okay.
and Switch and Xbox
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
I tried that one, and I didn't like it. But that's maybe because I don't know, wasn't into it back in the day. Maybe it changed now.
I feel like Capcom
Who
is
knows?
really trying to make Dragon's Dogma a series because they released
Yeah.
like an MMO of it, and then
I mean, they released 2, so yeah, they're good on their way to make it a series.
yeah, well, they released the MMO in 2015, and then they released an anime for it in 2020,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
And be like, well, there's nothing substantial for the series other than
Franchise
that.
building.
Yeah, but usually you do it within years of the first game coming out. Not like...
Not almost 10 years later.
Capcom just looking at their backlog like, do we have anything to make a franchise out of? Oh, let's try Dragon's Dogma.
People like dragons
shit.
now, so maybe.
Should we do Mega Man or should we do Dragon's Dogma? Dragon's
One-
Dogma.
One game that I do think was announced, although correct me again if I'm wrong on this, was Hotel Barcelona, which seems to be the new Suda 51 game.
Hotel Barcelona.
I know the name, but I can't visualize it at all in my head, so...
Yeah, so Suda 51 of Grasshopper fame, known for No More Heroes.
No More Heroes, Killer 7,
Killer 7, yes.
Lollipop
yeah.
Chainsaw.
Yes.
That was
I was looking at the
announced.
gameplay, it did not look very interesting to me.
Looks like an
it's a
indie
s-
game, but not
Yeah. I mean, it is, pretty
in a
much.
negative way. maybe.
Grasshopper is
way.
pretty much an pretty much an indie studio. Yeah, I'm not sure. It didn't really grip me, though I'm generally a fan of Suda 51. But yeah, I don't know. And another game that looked interesting, although also announced, I think actually it might have been a Nintendo Direct sometime in the past, but they showed a lot of new gameplay footage, was Deca Police, which is a detective game by Level 5, the Professor Layton developers.
Oh yeah, that was announced in a Nintendo Direct before, yeah.
Yes.
And
But they
they-
were showing off a lot of gameplay from that.
I've
Because
to-
Level 5 had their own show as well.
Yeah, and they did put Professor Layton art in their promo, but they didn't show any new Layton news.
I mean, for all we know, Professor Layton shows up in Deca Police and then takes over the game.
The
When is
twist.
Professor Layton going to show up in Smash?
Professor
one.
Layton for Smash. When?
Maybe.
There were those tweets way back when, where there was like a Professor Layton account on Twitter, and I'm still not sure if it was an official account or not, but it was like something of, oh, I got an invite or a letter, and then I went to the place that I was invited to, and there was a boy in blue and something else, and he said, oh, that wasn't really for me. I don't like fighting.
I don't like.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a fan account. I
It
assume
was
it's a
totally-
fan account,
yeah.
but I did back in the day when Smash for Wii U had their own ballot. I did fill in Layton as a playable
Oh,
character.
he
but
did.
I think they missed my.
Yeah,
my
if they
message.
had gotten your message, they would definitely have. done it.
Yeah, I think they missed
I
it.
can't believe they would just
No.
ignore your plea.
Yeah, same. But yeah, it happens. So I don't know.
Was there anything else that any of you saw happen at Tokyo Game Show that you wanted to mention here?
I'm still trying to figure out what happened there.
For me, the only reason Tokyo Game Show existed was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, basically. And I've looked at like maybe hours of footage to.
Hours upon hours.
Yeah, there weren't hours, but there's one streamer I always watch, which is Maximilian Dude. Some people may know him. He usually does fighting games, but he is also very into Final Fantasy VII, especially. And like his enthusiasm for the game is very, how do you call it? Like, it's there's a word for it. Like it's as I don't know how to say it. Like because he is enthusiastic about the game, he also gets enthusiastic about the game.
It's infectious.
Yes, that was the word I'm looking for. And I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, yeah, it's logical you also want to play the second game. And it looks, honestly, it looks very promising.
If you enjoy a game, you want to play more of it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Wow.
Crazy.
But, yeah, that's the only game I, yeah, keep the attention on for the Tokyo Game Show. And they did drop a new trailer during the PlayStation Direct. And they had
Heck yes.
a demo at their booth, so a lot of new gameplay was showed via those yeah, demo things. So yeah, for me that was the only news for Tokyo Game Show.
Okay, okay.
Otherwise, Tokyo Game Show was a thing that happened.
Yeah, that's
Apparently,
I feel
according
like
to sources.
I feel like previous years there were a lot more news, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and they were hyping it up beforehand. They
Well,
were like,
yeah,
oh,
because-
this is going to be the biggest Tokyo Game Show in years.
Yeah,
Because like E3 is dead now,
Yeah.
and so I guess this is the new big event. And
the
then
new big event is
nothing happened.
the game show probably, or the Game Awards. I mean,
Yeah.
and Summer Game Fest is some kind of replacement, but usually at
You
the
know-
Game Awards they do show new things. So that's-
Yeah. You know what did happen though? A PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Where they show, that's where they
also
showed.
I think absolutely nothing was shown of interest.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Final Fantasy
two shows where
rebirth.
nothing happened.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. I think everyone was saying that that the State of Play. I mean, it's always disappointing.
Yeah, depends which games you like. If you like,
As a huge PlayStation fan, I'm no, honestly, I think I might be more of a PlayStation fan than a Nintendo fan at this point. But
What are you on doing on the server?
yeah, but the State of Plays are always terrible.
yeah, for me, like back in the PlayStation 3 era, I feel like they had a lot more exclusives. So
Yeah,
but,
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation 2 was just the best console.
two-
You heard it here first.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Next best console is Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo's very high. Yeah. Yeah, but for me, the PlayStation state was only Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I think for like most people who are into that game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
I need to
yeah.
finish the first game. I still haven't because I stopped my PlayStation Plus subscription. And that's where I got
Oh, you
it
got it
from.
for free. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it for free. So now I have to actually pay to play the other half of Final
Ugh,
Fantasy VII
disgusting.
Remake.
Um,
And be like, do I really want to
I-
do this?
I played it very cheap on my PC. Some might even say for €0, but I don't want to
0 whole euros.
confirm or deny that
€0.
statement.
Something that did happen though was the Nintendo Direct.
I was there.
Yay. You were there.
You were there.
I was there.
I wasn't.
No.
Oh. Well, then what are you
I was
doing?
at home. was at
I
home
walked into the
watching it.
Discord and saw everyone talking very excitedly after that happened, so I just skim over the YouTube video that they uploaded.
So
Yeah, can we just get a best
got,
of highlights reel?
we got
In character.
Mario versus Donkey Kong, which is a remake.
A
We
remake.
got Another Code, which is a remake. We got The Thousand Year Door, which is a remake. And this is pretty much why at the start we were talking about
Hey,
remakes.
we got one
because
game that wasn't a remake, and it was F-Zero.
F-Zero Battle Royale,
And,
which was not quite a remake, but
The Peach game.
the Peach game.
And Luigi
I-
was
I
also a
think-
remake.
Hey, we got Tomb Raider remastered.
I-
That's a remastering, not a remake.
Oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion was a remake, right?
Yeah, or more.
Yeah,
I think it's just
remaster.
an HD remaster.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a remaster. Wow,
Yeah.
even
But
worse.
still a re-release of the same game, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting game that was announced, or was it announced? I think so. That was not a remake. Was Unicorn Overlord.
Hey,
Yeah, that was announced, yeah.
Trombone Champ was also pretty interesting.
But that's not that's a port.
That already
Ah.
existed and was released.
Well, I never heard of it before.
I think the major announcement was the Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario.
I mean, it didn't really need a remake, but
No.
the original game is like so inaccessible, or you have to pay a lot if you want to play it the legit way.
Yes.
So this was
that's a good caveat
Yeah.
to put there.
They-
to
they-
play it a legit way.
yeah. They either had to or just do NSO GameCube with that game, or do it like this, and
Yeah.
this
This is going to get them way more money. So
for sure.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. The people already, I don't know how to say it, but the Paper Mario franchise changed a lot since that game. And a lot of people are upset it changed in a worse way for them. So there's New Hope, I think, like, oh, if this one sells a lot, they will return to the original gameplay.
The original
and then-
RPG format.
Yeah,
yes.
but
I never feel like those things work because
No.
companies will always interpret sales the way they want to.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, oh, this game sold a lot. Well, I
we
guess
can do more remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
we just do more remakes, and it didn't sell a lot. Oh, that's because people don't like this particular game.
Yeah. But it's logical they are doing remakes now because they also did for the 3DS back when the 3DS was about to end, like their cycle, call it.
Are you going to do more Doomer posting about the Switch being towards the end of its life cycle again?
How do you mean?
We're talking about, oh, it makes sense that they're getting remakes because the 3DS was getting remakes when it was
Yep.
at the end of its life cycle.
Yep, and that's why they're
The
remakes
Switch
now.
is a young and vital machine.
She
No, it's,
just got
uh,
here.
It's got so much life left in it.
I mean, they could make plenty of games for it, but money-wise and graphical upgrade-wise, it would be logical to release a new one somewhere next year, I think.
Okay.
If they want
It's,
to, they can just re-release Super Paper Mario.
They can remake the
Every
Switch.
month.
They could remake Mario 64 and people would eat it like cupcakes.
What
but
if,
I want
what if they remade
Nintendo Switch HD remaster.
What if they remake the Switch?
It's just the exact same Switch, but the aesthetics look slightly nicer.
Yeah.
So
No, not,
the-
not
so
the
the Switch
aesthetics of
OLED.
the screen itself.
No. All the hardware's the same.
Just the hardware. It looks nicer.
It
Just
just
a bit
looks
more
shinier.
Yeah.
exactly the Switch OLED.
No.
Oh.
Not the screen.
Oh, only like
Only
Just
the outside.
The casing of the thing itself.
oh, it's a little bit less black or a little bit more black.
It's just made out of chrome.
2005.
Yes,
just
it's
a
going to
chrome
be
switch.
either less black or more black. Definitely.
Either way, black will be involved.
Yeah. So, is anyone looking forward to the Thousand Year Door?
I really
I
am
mean,
actually.
I've never played the original,
Me
and
neither.
both the process of hooking up my GameCube and then finding a copy of the Thousand Year Door, which is one of the GameCube's most renowned games, so they're stupid expensive. I'm probably gonna play it. I'll probably play it. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Only
to know.
for the same reason, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, just hooking up a GameCube in this day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
will,
mean, I never had a GameCube growing up. I was a PS2 boy. And
Damn.
so, the first
I mean,
Paper Mario game I ever played was Super Paper Mario, which was the platformer.
same for
It's,
me.
it was
even though I
also
had
the
the
first
GameCube.
Paper Mario game I played.
Yeah,
and I
so-
also had a GameCube.
Yeah, like I actually haven't played too many like Mario RPG games. Like I played a few of the Mario and Luigi ones, right? But I don't know. I was always fascinated by like the original Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door, right? And watching videos of them, like on YouTube. So I actually am really excited that Thousand Year Door is gonna come out on Switch.
You're actually an expert on the game. You've watched so many YouTube videos on it.
I even know that they removed the Fire Emblem reference in the game.
How
No
dare
buy,
they?
no buy, no buy anymore.
Boycott.
Boycott.
Okay. Good to hear. Another code. Anyone interested in that one?
Nope.
I don't know enough about it, so
Okay.
to be hyped for it or something.
I thought the DS game was quite good. I also do not see the need for a remake. But maybe if it gets some more sales, then that would be good for was it Ching?
I don't know. Is it isn't is it
company?
is the story based puzzle game or
Yes, it is a story-based puzzle game.
maybe if Layton takes too long, I could try. I don't know.
Not really. Is it comparable to Layton?
Layton is
don't know.
a story based puzzle game, I think.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but
Yeah, different kind of puzzles probably.
yeah.
I think that one
mean,
has
if you really wanna
overworld
play them.
puzzles.
Portal is a story-based puzzle game if you want to play it like
Yeah.
that.
Apollo
it's
Justice
also,
is too.
also not comparable. Yeah, it's too broad. Too broad.
Too broad.
Oh, look, Professor Layton had a crossover with Phoenix Wright.
That's true.
Yes.
I've
That also is a thing that happened. Mario versus Donkey Kong.
No.
Well,
The thing that annoys me the most is that the game itself didn't change. Like
Yeah.
it's still the GBA game, but they will probably still ask 60 or 50 bucks for it. Or yeah, I don't know. It's too simple to ask that amount of money for it, I think, because
If
they
it's-
can reuse a lot of assets and all that kind of stuff.
It's weird where, like, if they re-release, like, games or series that started on the Game Boy but keep the same mechanics, like, they're releasing it on a console that's supposed to be both a portable and a home console, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, like, weird. Like, do we consider this, like, a AAA game? Because it is, like,
No.
another mainline Mario, or do we just consider this, like, a side?
it's not a mainline Mario.
Well, yeah. But are they going to charge the same price?
Yeah.
They probably remade it because of the movie, I think.
But it's
Well,
not a remake,
that-
it's just a new entry in the series, isn't it?
No,
Oh, it's a remake.
Oh,
It's
it is?
original. Yeah.
Oh, I never played the first game.
No, yeah. It's,
I played a lot of Donkey Kong 94, which is pretty much the precursor to this.
Yeah, the
Which
original.
I think it is sort of like Donkey Kong the arcade game,
Yeah.
but made into a puzzle game.
Yeah, upgraded with more modern mechanics, I think, from that time.
Well,
That's current
it
time.
wasn't even modern because it was on the Game Boy.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it had some puzzle mechanics and puzzle gameplay. And then that at some point was made into March of the Minis or Mario vs. Donkey Kong. I'm
March of
not
the
sure if
Minis, yeah.
they're sequels to each other or whether that's the same game.
I played that. It was on DSiWare.
Yes, I played one of those games or some installment or some form of that game, but I didn't think it was really fun with the minis. The minis were stupid to me.
It looks
it's,
like Lemmings to me.
Yeah, well, I guess it was too much minion core to me.
Yeah.
Of
Minions.
little guys walking around being stupid.
Yeah, Mario, why don't
like
you
that.
get in there yourself? Like, what the fuck?
F-Zero Battle Royale.
I tried it, and it's unique, but I feel like it's very
It's a game.
luck-based. Yeah. I tried it and I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm not getting progress. And if I get progress, I have no clue how I got progress. So, I don't know. The highest I got was like 20th, I think. But it didn't feel like I did much difference from when I got 80th or something like that. So.
I haven't played it, but it kind of feels like getting punched in the face with the corpse of your deceased friend.
Truly.
I remember the reaction. Everyone's like, F-Zero? Wait, no!
Yeah, like how they announced it at first, like looked like we're gonna remake
Yeah,
the first one.
Yeah.
This is probably the
Honestly,
one time
I-
we would actually want to remake.
I kind of like the idea
But
because it makes sense in
Yeah,
the setting as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the way that they went about it, no. Maybe if this was like a mode within a new game,
Yeah, that's fine.
that would have been very cool.
But they can't be that tone deaf that they don't know how much people,
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
the actual F-Zero fans, want a new F-Zero game. And how that intro looked of like that zooming into that behind view into the
Yeah.
car on. Oh my god! Fuck
You
you,
knew
Nintendo.
what you were doing, Nintendo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what
It's
I
like
think
that.
is that they released this because this was probably easier to develop.
Oh yeah,
And,
absolutely.
It introduces new people to F-Zero basically because the last one released in like 2003, I think. So that's been
Something like that.
been
GameCube.
20 years. So there are plenty of people who never owned or never. There was never a F-Zero release in their whole life probably. So this is their first F-Zero release.
Oh, that's impossible. No people were ever born after 2000.
But I think it's a setup for a new game. I think that's a bit hopeful thought, maybe, but like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they didn't, they would have used Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, but I don't know.
That'll be next.
That'll be
or
next.
Diddy Kong Racing Battle Royale.
And Nintendo just really likes these like battle royale free to play games, right?
After Tetris.
Yeah, after Tetris, and then they keep
Mario
applying that same
35, which were Mario 35, which got removed.
Yeah, they keep applying this formula, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, sure, it's an interesting concept, but like, it's the exact same graphics as the SNES version, right?
It's like they heard, hey, battle royales are very popular, and it's like, what could we do with that? We don't have any shooters.
If they made like
Stick
a
it onto
Metroid,
Tetris.
stick it onto Tetris. They also have Pac-Man 99. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Pac-Man is getting discontinued, I think. That might-
Is it actually?
Oh
Shit.
no.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tetris lives because Tetris 99 is actually interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pac-Man, the issue was that at the start everything was the new for everyone, but now it was out for like, I don't know, 2 years I think. So there was one pattern, and if you did that, you got the farthest, and if you didn't, you lost basically
Skill
always.
issue.
So the variation was gone. I think F-Zero could get the same problem, but I'm not sure. Since you always have the same track, so I assume if you do the exact same route every time, you should get the farthest.
Oh, I didn't realize it was the
And
exact same
Tetris is Tetris. It's not surprising that Tetris does well.
Yeah.
I mean, it is actually interesting to like face off against 99 other Tetris players at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
you
it's
can't
actually
go wrong with Tetris. It's just
It-
an
it
amazing
is-
game.
Yeah,
is
like
the best
people will
game of
just
all
keep
time.
playing like the same Tetris over and over again, right? But who's gonna keep playing like F-Zero 99 like 100 times? Unless you really like the original F-Zero.
Yes, some people say it's very good, but I'm not one of those people.
You're not one of
Who
them.
is some people?
But some say it's very good, and I don't know, underrated maybe even, but I don't know. It's just I don't know.
People
I
are
don't know.
already saying something's underrated that has been out for like how long?
How dare people?
Wow.
How dare they?
Unicorn Overlord.
I'm
Yeah, I
still
might play it.
confused.
Where may I play it?
I worked so hard to explain
Yeah.
it to you.
Unicorn
Dude,
Overlord, though.
I mean, I understand. I like the art style, but I like the art style of all their games. But
Yeah, it's classic Vanillaware art
yeah,
style.
but that doesn't mean I like the gameplay. I still want to try Dragon's Crown again, but I've not yet tried it again. And also the Sentinel 13 something. I don't like that. But the gameplay, I need to play a demo or something because the footage doesn't explain enough for me. And also you're explaining, or how you explain it, I understood it a little bit more, but not enough to actually know what.
Okay, then maybe at some point the problem lays with you. And not
maybe.
Yes.
I don't
You
know.
just have bad game opinions, Wes.
Because what Persona wrote was a whole like dissertation on
Yeah, I
all
know.
known information about the game.
It's a me problem, I know.
Skill issue.
I'm joshing.
But
Yeah, I think
I'll,
it might be interesting.
yeah, I
because,
think I'll
yeah.
try out Unicorn Overlord when it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
hopefully
should-
it doesn't come out for the full $90 they expect me to pay for it.
90?
$90.
Well, it's $90.
Oh, Canadian
yeah.
dollars? Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I
like
always forget about those.
it's 80, and then they add a tax that brings it to like $95.
Oh yeah.
And then I think what the CEO
Canada also does this thing?
That sucks, dude.
what?
Man,
Oh yeah, they also add the tax after the sales price.
that's it.
Price.
Yeah.
The first time I heard that about the US, I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
so weird.
And I
Very
think
misleading.
I forget which game company CEO was talking about this, but they want to raise the price of games even higher, to like 80
Even
to 100 US. Because I think they were saying like, oh, games are too cheap nowadays. And be like, fuck, $100, $100. I could be buying other stuff with that.
I mean, I do understand that they say it, but I think games, the development should just be shorter.
We talked about this last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still should play 13 Sentinels because I still have it, and I bought it like a year and a half ago, and I never played it.
It's also on PS Plus for free now, I think.
God,
Was it? I thought
I
it was
have
Caligula.
it. I own it. Okay.
Yeah, but you can play it forever. You don't have to own
Yeah.
PS Plus.
Anything else from the Nintendo Direct that you guys want to discuss?
Trombones.
Trombone.
Trombones.
I do like that they used the AR camera for trombone.
It looked so shitty, but that makes it even better.
It reminded me of like 1-2 Switch when it first came out. It's like, oh, this
Yes.
is the game that shows off the Switch's motion
Yeah.
controls.
And
And
they
it's just
really
awful.
tried way too hard to cram everything the Wii could do into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave it like a
That's
full
beautiful.
like 3 or 5 minutes in the direct as well.
Yes.
There's gonna be a wave of Twitter clips for like a week after it releases, and then no one's gonna talk about it again.
Did it not already release?
It's already out. Like
It's
Oh,
already,
is it?
Yeah.
Never mind. Then the wave of funny Twitter clips has already happened and has flown right over my head.
Yeah.
it came out right after the direct. So.
Nintendo, just do what the people want. Release Wii Music again, but on the Switch.
Give us Pikmin 99.
Holy fuck! I would play. It.
Pikmin 90.
Pikmin Battle Royale.
The first one to reach 99 Pikmins, and then you
Smash
have to
Bros 99.
mash the other people with all your Pikmins. I would play that.
Just 99
Metroid
people
Prime
on one
Hunters
Smash.
99.
Fire
What
Emblem
would be the
99.
next 99? Because there's clearly like there's a pattern now. It's not just the one time off thing they wanted to try. This is gonna be a thing that they're gonna keep doing. What would be the next one?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Legend of Zelda 99. Whoever can beat the entire game first wins.
You could have a roguelike dungeon crawler like that, I think, with Zelda NES aesthetics.
Oh, you're making it actually work. I was just like actually complete the entirety of the original.
Cuber, you're making an entirely new game. That's way too much effort for
For
this.
free.
Shit. Oh shit. I'm
Bubble
sorry.
Bobble 99.
Kirby, no. Maybe Lololo,
Super Smash.
Lololo's Adventure.
Super Smash 99.
I already suggested that.
Isn't that just Super Smash?
Yeah,
but
but with
now
99
99.
players.
No, we
In
gotta
order-
make it NES. They've all been NES games, right?
Yeah, like to have
Stick to that.
99
SN
players would have to
SNES.
be N64 graphics.
SNES? Oh yes, of
F-Zero
course.
is
Zeros is
SNES,
SNES. Yes, of course.
What other beloved franchise can we turn into a
I
glorified battle
own
royale?
F-Zero SNES. Why didn't I? Star Fox.
Star
Oh, yeah, sure.
Should like big dogfights.
Yeah, you have
It's
to.
just
I
another game
would
they've
play-
abandoned for years.
No, they
I mean,
released
this
Star
would
Fox
actually
2.
work. This would actually work as a battle royale game because it's a shooter.
Yeah.
I would actually play the shit out of it. Holy crap! Like
Well,
just
there you go,
99 people.
There you go, Nintendo. Here's
That's
a
just
free,
War Thunder.
A free idea.
We will be expecting our royalties. You can message me on Discord for my PayPal. Thank you, Nintendo.
Hello, you can send all invoices to margrave@hotmail.com.
They could also do Splatoon, but it's not all enough.
You wait
not
another
old enough.
50 years and you'll get Splatoon 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wait long enough, eventually we'll just become Splatoon.
Damn. Evolution.
So, another little parcel, a little nugget of news. Kamiya leaving Platinum Games, and I mean, what is he still doing? Is he working? He was working on Bayonetta 3 as a supervising director, I think, and then he had his own project, which he was doing at Platinum Games, which I think nothing was known about yet.
Which he only did Bayonetta and The Wonderful 101, I think, or did he do more?
Okami.
Okami, okay. But they are
Beautiful
working on
Joe.
Okami too, right?
Did
They
he do
announced
Beautiful
that.
Joe?
According to Google, he did.
Oh, okay.
will
Because
never lie.
I was reading up on this, and he's been supervising director for a lot of titles.
Yeah, but what does that title actually mean?
Nothing much.
Yeah,
really.
right. Like,
It's
It's
just like someone else is like directing the game, and if they run into issues, I think Miyamoto has done this a lot as well.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
run into something, it's like, oh, good old mentor, how would you do this? And they just like, oh, fuck off. And then, thank you, Mister.
I feel like Kamiya would actually
Is
love
it
that
then also
role.
a way? Is it then also a way to get X name attached
Yeah,
to my
probably.
project?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I was about to say like,
He
sure,
must be,
whatever.
like executive producer on movies.
But that's what
That's also
I was
such
gonna
a
say,
meaningless
right?
title.
Like, you know, yeah, maybe you run into problems, and then you can call this guy to tell the other guy to fuck off.
Yeah.
It'd be like, this is your designated go fuck yourself guy.
I mean, Kamiya is very good at being a go fuck yourself guy.
Yeah.
It is funny though. I was reading a lot on Twitter, and he's so hated.
Yeah.
It's
he?
just because he blocks a lot of people.
He gets into so many
he is
Twitter
from the block
fights.
meme.
Yeah.
He blocked you?
No. It
Oh.
was like a meme, like if something didn't go his way, and he would reply blocked, and that's basically.
Yes. I think he pretty much blocked everyone who talked to him in English.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
Did he
But,
also? Say
I mean,
why
it's
he
it's
stopped?
also like no, I don't think so.
Oh.
Platinum released something. I think both of them, like him individually released a statement, and Platinum released a statement that
Yeah.
both seemed like it was a mutual agreement. Nothing like
Yeah.
no controversy or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like we have some creative differences, and I want to do my own thing.
Yeah. Do you remember when they had the Kickstarter for the Wonderful 101, and being blocked or unblocked was a stretch reward?
Yes, I do. Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah.
Just to bring back discussion on Wonderful 101.
Oh, that's beautiful. What else was I gonna? Yeah, so I think he was doing Scalebound as a director, which got cancelled, and then he was doing Project GG, which might now also be cancelled because he's not working at the company anymore. But Scalebound was, I think, an Xbox exclusive game, and I don't think anything much was known about Project GG yet. And I don't think it will be very impactful for Bayonetta 3, so...
And Okami 2 was also announced, right? I don't know if he was
No.
working on that. Oh, it's
Was
been
it?
it has been confirmed there will be an Okami 2. Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's been I think it's been more than a year, but Stan also knew, so the server was Okami themed for a bit.
I thought it was a...
I mean, if I
Oh, it's
Google
real.
it, the first article says Hideki Kamiya says he wants to make an Okami sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah, but a lot of
creators.
creators want to make a
Yeah,
sequel.
I'm pretty sure that this was indeed, but they don't have the rights. I'm pretty sure.
Okami 2 chances are pretty high in quotation marks.
Because I
Wants
think
to make sequel.
Capcom has the rights to the game, but they also wouldn't make a game without. And that's also the issue. Platinum doesn't have any rights to this game because Clover was the development studio that made Okami.
What are they doing
So-
now?
I mean, maybe Kamiya left Platinum because he got an offer by Capcom to make Okami 2. Who knows? But other than that, I don't think Okami 2 was ever confirmed.
Oh, I thought it was, but
He's actually just coming to Capcom to work on Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah. I think there's not much that we can say more on this topic.
It came really suddenly too. Right.
What?
It came the news that he left Platinum was really
Yes.
sudden, right? They just like there was absolutely no rumors about this beforehand, and then all of a sudden, Kamiya just left Platinum. There
Yep.
you go, right?
Yep.
I mean, the same was for the Mario voice actors. Also
Yeah, but I
heard
don't.
rumors, I think.
Yeah, but it's not like what Kamiya is going to retire or anything.
Oh
He
no,
just
yeah, that's
left.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it sounds a bit weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw someone speculate that he might, which was really funny. I gotta find that. Because who's the other guy who made Resident Evil? Forgot his name. Shinji Mikami.
Shinji Mikami.
I think he left the company that he was working at recently. Did he? Tango?
No, he's still at Tango.
Oh, he's still at Tango.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was some. Oh yeah, and
Yeah, no, he announced he will
Bethesda
leave, but
announced
he
that
hasn't left
Mikami
yet.
will leave. Yes.
Yeah, so he'll leave.
So someone
eventually.
was speculating like, oh, maybe Mikami and Kamiya are going to make Clover again, which I think is really funny because I mean
Clover,
Platinum
like
Games
the
is
the sh- the
the
hand
studio.
glove thingy with the ball.
No.
Or oh. Think
No,
of different
Clover, not Glover.
game. Oh, it's
Lover.
Clover, the studio that made Okami.
okay.
But
Wes just really likes Glover.
I like
mean,
Glover.
why?
Give me
Because-
Glover remake.
Platinum Games was pretty much Clover 2.0 anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't see the reason why Kamiya would be leaving Platinum to make Clover again with Kamiya. Yeah, with Mikami. That makes no sense to me. But yeah. Having said that, a recent article also talked about Nintendo not making any DLC for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
same article also talked about who said it? It was the director Hidemaru Fujibayashi. And they said they just aren't interested in this version of Hyrule anymore. Which could mean a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
One idea is that it might just the next game might not be open world, though it's not that they said that outright.
No.
They might also just completely rebuild Hyrule in a different way and still have it be open world.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your take on this?
I mean, I don't think it's actually that big of a deal because Legend of Zelda has always been a series where the world like changes with almost every game, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom was already like the game was mostly made because they had a lot of ideas from the original Breath of the Wild game that, you know, they could have just kept releasing more DLC for Breath of the Wild, but they had enough ideas and enough a story direction to actually just go and create a completely new game, right? So, you know,
And Breath of the Wild was actually open-ended, so it made
Yeah.
sense that there will be a sequel to it.
yeah, but I imagine like Breath of the Wild came out like 2017, right? 2018?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like do you really
Right, a release.
as a developer on the Legend of Zelda series, like do you really want to keep working on the same world for, you know, 6+ years? Like beyond that? So, no, if they
No.
move on to a
Actually,
different
yeah.
world, then fair play to them, right? You know,
New
they've
art
learned
style, new world.
yeah, no, they've learned a lot from these games and I
Will
think
Will it be Hyrule?
I think it'll be Hyrule. I just don't know if it's going to be the same Hyrule we've seen in Breath of the Wild.
It's definitely not.
No, right.
That's what they've said.
I mean, we had a Hyrule where all of Hyrule was covered in train tracks. It wasn't even Hyrule; it was New Hyrule, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Nintendo, you should totally go in that direction again. But I digress. But yeah, no, I'm not at all surprised they're going to be moving on from this version of Hyrule and the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom world. And whether or not they keep the open world aspect, they might keep elements of it. Like, it would be pretty weird for them to do all this work and be critically acclaimed for all this work and then to not carry it over at all. To just go like, yeah, we're going to go back to the same, like, Ocarina of Time formula, right? After, like, all this new interesting direction. would be kind of a
Then
shock,
again-
honestly.
Then again, I could totally see Nintendo do a thing like that where they're, well, we've done open
Yeah.
world now. Let's do something else completely different again
Let's make it a
Yeah.
shooter.
and innovate in that aspect.
Who wants Link's crossbow training?
2.0.
Here's your fucking shooter.
Like what style of game do you think that Zelda could also work as? Could they go more of the way that, for instance, not to overuse this trope, and I'll explain what I mean with this, but to go more the Dark Souls way in the sense that they'll make an interconnected world, which isn't open world,
Yeah.
but yeah, in the way like the original Dark Souls was, that you could go multiple ways.
Multiple routes, you mean?
But it's interlinked.
Ah, I see.
They could, or they could also go like Mario Odyssey way, like you have different areas you go to, and then you can go whatever way you want and solve it whatever way you want. But
I feel like I would be
Yeah.
fine with either of those ideas. They sound pretty interesting to implement in a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, like,
I mean, Dark Souls took a lot of inspiration from Zelda, so it would be fun to have that turn back around.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I personally I didn't really like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, so I wouldn't mind if they go back to like the original, like how Wind Waker and stuff were.
I would love like a big exploration game like Wind Waker where it's all ocean
Yeah.
again, right? I don't know, maybe they'll have the next game set in like the air where you just have to travel between, I don't know, different like floating islands. Though I feel
the
like
Curse
they've
one.
Just like Tears of the Kingdom.
So I haven't actually played Tears of the Kingdom.
Or Skyward Sword was also like.
Or
part-
Skyward
I was
Sword.
about I completely forgot Skyward Sword did that. But no, like more like
Also
the,
original March.
Well, we gotta find another plane of existence. So we've had Earth, we've had water, we've had sky, the fire.
No.
Everything's ablaze.
Let's go even
Yeah.
further down into the earth. It's gonna be Dig Dug.
Just like Tears of the Kingdom.
Did they do that
Also,
too? Shit. This
There's
shows
a
you- I
big
haven't played the
underground
game at all.
segment.
Look,
Yeah.
the only thing I know about Tears of the Kingdom is that people basically became mad scientists in that game, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but building, yeah. They could do a futuristic one or something. I don't know.
Base building game, Legend of Zelda.
Or no clue. This is why I'm not a game developer. I let them do the thinking and I play the games. That's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they will go back to a traditional Legend of Zelda game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of open world games in general. I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and Elden Ring for that matter. But I definitely would like to see more not open world games.
Yeah.
I personally prefer not open world to open world.
It's
I
the
would-
new hype. Like when you it's yeah.
I mean, it's almost not the new hype, but just the new standard.
Yeah. But it
You
will
want-
turn back, like when around the time the Nintendo 64 and everything got released, everything had to be 3D suddenly. So,
I would love to see a new Legend of Zelda side-scrolling game. I think that would be a really
Side-scrolling?
interesting. Yeah, they've already done it
Top-down.
with like the second Legend of Zelda. Remember Link's Adventure?
Zelda 2, yeah.
wasn't that the
Yeah.
worst one or
It was
Hey,
an
now.
okay game.
It was very
different.
it was very different, and that's why a lot of people didn't like it.
I mean,
I don't.
that happens a
don't
lot
like
in
that.
series, right? Like, especially in the early days, be like, okay, how are we gonna follow up like our super popular game? Let's change up
Yeah,
the
like
formula a bit.
Castlevania too.
they did the same for Mario Brothers too. So.
Yeah. So it's like I would love to see them try again, like, you know,
Yeah.
side scroller.
I mean, Castlevania 2, which was also very much disliked in the beginning, also did pave the way for Symphony of the Night
Yeah.
in some ways.
We're talking about Simon's Quest, right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe they'll have a action RPG, Legend of Zelda, where you have to level up Link.
That.
Like in Zelda 2.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. Or like
Yeah.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, I could see a Metroidvania Zelda work.
The only
Not necessarily 2D.
The only problem I see with this is that Nintendo likes to keep like certain like genres within certain franchises, right? So like the reason we haven't had too many other racing games that aren't Mario Kart is because Mario Kart is where they put all of the development time into the racing games into,
Yeah, that's fair.
right? And so it's like, well, if they do this, like, are they gonna have to like move team members from like different teams who've actually done side-scrolling games before?
Mario Kart killed F-Zero.
No, that's basically it. Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
yeah, right.
Yeah, but at the same time, we still got Donkey Kong Country games. Even though Mario Bros.
Yeah, but that's a different studio.
Yeah, that's true.
They,
The
they
same
just
genre.
said, "Hey, Rare, do this," and just tossed the license.
Yeah, and then
I'm
Rare
glad-
got
I'm
bought by
glad they did.
Microsoft. Apparently, Microsoft execs thought they also bought Donkey Kong when they bought Rare. Did you see that article?
Yeah, they thought, yeah.
And they had to be told, no, you
no.
didn't, after the sale.
Oh no!
To be fair, not all the execs thought that, just some who weren't paying attention in those meetings.
They were paying, but not attention.
It's so weird they barely do anything with Banjo-Kazooie, even though if they did like a one-to-one remake of the first one, it would sell easily. But I don't know. You would
Yeah,
say
then
it's
you
easy
got
money.
Ukulele.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
No.
It's not the
it's not the
same.
same. Any closing thoughts on what's next for Zelda?
I hope it will take a lot of years till new.
I don't want to see Zelda anytime soon.
Now, I hope the next one will be in like 2026 maybe.
I hope the next one releases after I'm dead.
I hope the next one releases next year. That means that it's a short development cycle, and I want games with shorter development cycles. There you go.
Gotcha. The, what's it called again when everyone has to overwork to finish a game? Crunch. The crunch has started immediately from day one.
No, I don't want the crunch.
Where you should have specified.
This isn't a way to make shorter development times. Just cram more time into the time. No.
Crap more time into the time. I want them to bring back Linkle.
Winkle, yeah, that was a thought.
It is
That was
indeed a
something
thought.
that happened.
Yeah, I think they did because the original Breath of the Wild trailer, first one, people thought Link was a girl, and
Yeah,
Link isn't a girl?
Wait, who's Link?
know.
I thought we were talking about Zelda.
Oh, Zelda is a boy. Link is but they thought he was a she because it looked apparently a bit feminine, and that's where
Yeah.
the Linkle idea came
Link
from.
is absolute twink energy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not
Or
in
f-
every game.
Hmm?
Not in
Link
every
is
game.
Link is
Yes, in
canonically a
every
very
game.
short man.
Oh.
I think someone
he's-
measured Link and said that his height was probably around 5'2".
Unless when the games in which Link was an actual child, he's very much a hot twink boy.
Yeah. I mean, they
Yeah,
put him
so-
in that outfit.
This is not even an opinion. This is just fact.
This
Oh,
is fact.
I have an idea now. Like the new Zelda game will
I'm
be
sure
Link,
you do.
Link, but
It's
he's
a dating
older.
sim.
But he's older. He's like,
Bearded Link.
yeah, he has a beard and he's older, and Ganondorf's old and Zelda is old and they have children or something.
We are desperately missing twink representation, and you want to take this away from us?
I want a manly man like Kratos from God of War.
You want the
Thinly veiled
manly man?
homophobia. I will
Like
not
one
stand
to
for
one.
it.
We already have our manly man, which is Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I
Look-
want Link to be a manly man.
Look, it took 20 years for Link to be given pants. Do you think we're gonna go in that direction that fast?
Maybe he gets his first beard hairs. You see like 3 around.
In this game, Link's schlong is just visible from the get-go.
Damn.
And that's his Master Sword.
Oh,
I
no.
think it's time to move on.
Oh well, this actually folds very nicely into our listener question. I wanted a listener question on this gosh darn show, but none of your listeners are giving us any new listener questions, so I had to
Okay.
dig deep into the archives of listener questions,
Okay.
and I got this beautiful gem from famed for the Discord. I almost said forum member. Discord member and absolute legend.
Okay.
Hope you all remember him still. Hyper Stan.
Who's that?
I know him. Who?
And he asked us previously. This was way back when we still did our original podcast.
In 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. He asked, "Who's your video game crush?"
From back then or now?
Karlak.
Karlak.
Yeah, that's a very good answer.
That's fair.
I mean, from whenever you want. Maybe your first video game crush. Maybe
Ire from Armored
maybe
Core
someone
6.
recently.
You never see any of the characters in Armored Core, but Ire is very nice.
Who? Ira?
Ire,
How
like
do you spell it?
Ayre. Like, the thing about the Armored Core series is that you never see any of the characters. Like,
And
At all.
still, you got the hots for them.
yeah, because Ire is just a voice in your head who is very nice to you and helps drive the game forward.
In Armored Core 6, or which one?
Yeah, Ire from Armored Core 6.
I Google here's nothing. There's not a
My-
visual of her, only of
My crush.
Yeah,
my
because
crush
they
is
never
also-
show any of the characters in Armored Core.
Oh.
Come on, Wes, are you listening?
Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
Like, the only
My-
thing that's important in Armored Core is that you pilot a giant fucking robot.
The robot
My-
is your crush.
My
No,
crush
no,
is
no, you
also
are the
always
robot.
just a voice in my head.
But who's your actual game crush?
One of the first, I think, was Cammy from Street Fighter.
Why? Why?
Why?
Yeah, what made her your first crush?
Her
Do you have
absolute,
eyes?
her absolute killer thighs.
Her buttocks.
I think the uniform also worked.
Yeah, it was a nice.
They sometimes say stuff about men in uniform, but I mean, women in uniform.
Come on.
Put a woman in an army suit, and oh boy.
And you're
boy.
drooling. From more recent years.
Megara?
Megara.
But that was
from,
mostly
what, Hades?
Yeah, from Hades.
Ooh,
The voice,
the voice.
the
Megara.
voice. Oh,
Oh,
and the
her.
whip, but also the voice.
Mostly the voice. And the whip. Okay.
Akihiko from Persona 3.
Persona
I respect
3.
that.
Oh, him. The boxing.
Him.
Yeah, the boxing guy. And I think, I was talking about this in the Discord earlier this week. I think it's also the suit, but Alucard from
Oh yeah, very good one.
Dracula.
Ooh.
Also the hair, but also the suit. And in a similar way, Setzer Gabbiani from Final Fantasy VI. They look fairly similar. Long
Final-
white hair. Setzer Gabbiani.
Setzer Gabbiani.
The gambler with his own airship.
But do you also like Sephiroth? Because he's also very Sephiroth.
No.
Oh.
I don't know why, because yeah, he absolutely fits that mold,
Yeah.
but no, Sephiroth, no. I never...
Is it because he's popular?
He's
Yeah, it's because he's popular.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you put the finger on the sore spot there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
Or I'm also listing Pan Am from Cyberpunk 2077.
I gotta Google that.
Cyber.
I always like
Ooh, Pan
Lin.
Am?
Pan Am.
Oh, okay. Don't know who that is, but okay.
I like the
Why
Lyn
does
from
it, why
Fire
does he
Emblem.
not?
Yeah.
Why does he not have any modification? Or
You play the game and find out.
She
I
kind of
played the
looks
game, but
Oh.
a bit like Karlak
yeah, they
in a way.
You just into
Yeah.
that.
I don't know why, but she gives me similar vibes.
I'm just into women who would kill me.
That's completely fair.
I mean, yeah, absolutely fair.
You want those dummy mummies?
That's why Megira as well. And why one of my first crushes, but that's not a video game crush. One of my first crushes was Android 18.
oh,
Oh yeah,
Absolutely a woman that would kill me.
100% fits that. Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. What about you, Wes?
Me, from recent years, it has to be Arid from Final Fantasy VII. But mostly from the
From recent years.
From recent
That's
years.
so funny.
no, I mean from the
Yeah, I
remake.
understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
because-
But it sounds so funny. Oh, a game from recent years? Yeah.
from the remake because she has more character in this one because obviously she has more dialogue than in
You
the
didn't like
original
those
game.
polygons from the original?
I mean those
Absolutely not.
pointy Tifa titties. they do it for me. But yeah, I think her. I like her personality in that game. Also, let me think. From the
Think
older
harder.
games, I didn't really have video game crushes. I always I don't know. I think I like Daisy a bit from Mario.
Hey!
she's very hollow, so
Hey!
no
That's
personality.
the weirdest video game crush
Hey.
to have. Not gonna lie.
Hey!
I think it's because of the Mario Strikers games.
You can't steal Marge's crush.
How dare you?
Yeah, but she has a bit of a tomboy, and I don't know.
I'm into that.
She's mine, douchebag. Back off.
I'm thinking. I'm not sure if it's a crush, but I like Two Beast design from Nier Automata.
I wonder why.
Just her design. Huh? I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Nasty. You make me sick.
I think for the exact same reason that Yoko Taro liked her.
Yeah, I mean, he had someone like dedicated to design or to model her butt, so.
Isn't that also that meme with like Hideo Kojima's 5-page long explanation on why Quiet has to
Quiet,
be
yeah.
naked,
Yeah.
and then Yubi's or whatever thing's name is design was just I just like girls.
Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Tubi. I just like girls.
I like
like
pretty
girls.
girls. I like,
I like pretty girls.
I mean, that's fair. I would do the
Wasn't
same
the-
if I made a
wasn't
game.
Kamiya with Bayonetta also just like I want high heels, a girl in
Yeah.
high heels.
Yeah. He got very offended when people kept drawing porn of Bayonetta being submissive. Be like, no! Have you seen her?
It doesn't fit her character. but-
Exactly. Because that's what I'm looking
Mommy.
for in porn.
Yeah. I also like Shadowheart, but
Shadowheart's nice.
I really like her voice actress. She has a very nice voice, I think.
Very British.
Yeah, I don't know, very soothing voice. But from back in the day, I don't know. There aren't really characters because back in the day I played Mario games and Nintendo games, and those didn't really have waifu material in them.
That's
Just
true.
didn't look hard enough.
You're not trying hard
I mean,
enough, man.
Birdo, if I
Birdo!
no, but
Not Zelda or anything, no Birdo.
but back in the day, like I don't know, is Tekken Tech or Tekken Tech Tournament 2 old? I don't know when it released.
Me
But
neither.
I feel like it's old now. Wait, I'm gonna look now how old it came out back in 2011, which is 12 years ago. Could be considered old, could be considered not very old. But I like Alicia from that game. And those are on top of my head. If nothing else really sticks. I mean Samus, but not really. I don't know.
I admire Samus more than I have a crush
Yeah.
on her, you know?
Yeah, same.
Right.
I mean,
And
she's.
be like, you're so cool.
I mean, even Nintendo sexualizes her, which is weird. In a
That
way.
doesn't
was-
make it okay.
Doesn't make it
No.
okay, right? Like Samus is just too much of an icon
Yeah,
to like
it's
have a crush
I,
on.
I I always find it weird that they did Zero Suit Samus, and then in the Brawl one she had like very blown up titties. I don't know.
And the high heels.
It doesn't fit her character at all. So I always.
But
find
it's
that
also
weird.
all of the Nintendo characters are, and let's be honest, very shallow.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to
Yeah.
ask me what Samus is like as a character, I have no
I
fucking
mean the.
idea.
I mean
Well, I
Zelda
do.
is not very shallow, I think, or
I think
To be
we
fair,
met
there's
those-
also a lot of different Zeldas.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Samus actually had a fairly well written character, which was the reason why people got very upset at Other M. Because
Yeah.
Other M did not understand that character and made her almost a damsel in distress, which, yeah, people got rightfully upset about. Like, this
Yes.
is not the Samus that
Yeah.
we
she
knew.
was traumatized.
I mean, to be fair, full disclaimer, I've never played a Metroid game, so maybe I'm the wrong person to make that statement. Please continue correcting me.
like people were she is a silent protagonist, but in a way that is like it's fair. She is like not.
she's stoic.
I don't know what that word means, but
Okay.
I do, and it sounds right.
okay. But like in Metroid Dread, there was one scene she started to talk, and people were like shocked that she started to talk, and she didn't talk in English. She talked in the alien language from that game, and she said like two sentences, I think.
Yeah, I could understand her.
Yeah.
And that added to her character in a way. So even though she never talks, she still has character, which is very nice or unique. I don't
Yeah.
know how to call it.
I mean, she is a bounty hunter that mostly operates alone.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can make some estimates on what kind of person that would be.
Yeah.
And in Other M, they just made her way too dependent on Adam, I think, off the
Yeah.
top of my head.
Adam,
It's just
her
like, oh, yes,
person.
Adam, of course, everything you say.
I feel
And that just didn't make any sense.
I like
Yes.
her characterization in Metroid Dread because she speaks a lot more through her actions than her actual voice, right?
Yeah.
Where I think her only
Yeah.
lines were actually just in the straight up Chozo language.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she's
I
a very
agree.
serious, like very woman of very words who's also very confident. Like when Kraid showed up in that
Yeah,
game,
you
right?
can.
She literally just like, oh, it's Kraid, then just starts
Yes.
silently charging up her blaster, like not
can-
even right, like not even really moving, and then just points it at him and blasts him point blank.
Oh, it's great again.
Yeah, you can you just see she's sick of him, and she's
Exactly
like,
right. Like
"Let's get-
that's
let's
the
get over it."
characterization there. Like she doesn't need
Yeah, for
words.
sure. Yeah, that's very strong. I agree.
Right.
But she's not Crush waifu worthy.
No,
She's
right?
just very
Like
cool.
again, I admire her more than like I have a crush on her.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Let's get into the final segment.
All right.
What have we been playing? Cuba.
I am finally out of Baldur's Gate jail.
Bubble up late.
Yeah.
I have finished the main story for the first time. I probably will play it again later, but
The Dark Earth Run.
maybe, yeah. It does sound interesting. But since I finished that, I also finished the Resident Evil 4 DLC that came out recently.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
The Ada Wong Separate Ways, which was really cool. A lot of content that was cut from the initial remake has been added to the DLC, so it's been cool to replay some fan favorite moments.
How many hours did it take to complete Baldur's Gate?
6 to 7 hours on normal difficulty.
No, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, Baldur's Gate. I think my main playthrough was like 120, 150 hours.
See, that checks out. Yeah.
It's more than I had.
I restarted my playthrough.
Restart? Why?
Restarted.
Wasn't really feeling fighter anymore, so I started a new character who's
You can just
You
respec.
can reclass.
wasn't feeling it.
That's fair. That's fair.
It wasn't
Let's do
feeling it.
50
You
hours
gotta do what
again.
feels right.
Right? Like sometimes like you start a game and then you get a decent bit and then go, oh, I kind of want to try something else, and then the
Yeah.
other thing you try is way more interesting. You get further. That's where I am at right now.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I also made my character to completely fit the class that I was going for. So, you can respec, but I think I would just want another character if I do another class.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-mm.
Are you looking forward to new games, Cuber?
Well, I just got the Cyberpunk DLC as well yesterday, so I'm gonna play that and attempt to enjoy, see what the new update is all about as well, because they completely revamped
Yeah, it
the
feels
game.
it feels like 2.0 version.
It doesn't just feel like it; it's called the 2.0 version.
I didn't know.
You were completely on point with your feelings, Wes.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I
Kind of
think they
impressive.
will re-release it. Like, it's still not on the PS Store, I think, the game. So, I'm not sure. Probably won't.
I have in the last couple of weeks already played more games than I usually do in 4 years, so I'm not particularly excited for any upcoming games, but doing pretty good with
Okay,
playing other
Nice.
games.
gaming.
Gamers.
March.
Armored Core.
Besides Baldur's Gate.
I've been playing a lot of Armored Core 6. Like, you remember I bought that game while we were...
Yeah, you did.
I bought that game in the middle of the last
Right.
podcast.
That's
So,
true, yeah.
I've been playing it a lot, and, like, if you've played Daemon X Machina, which a lot of the Armored Core...
Nope.
A lot of the devs
yeah.
on Daemon X Machina previously worked on the Armored Core
Oh.
series.
Oh, really?
Right. So, it's Daemon X Machina, but so much better, guys. Like, it has that Dark Souls formula where it's like some parts of the game can be extremely difficult and you just have to keep trying, right? But it's still like every single fight you still feel the full weight of like, oh yeah, I'm in a giant fucking mecha suit and it's awesome, right?
Nice.
The story is that you're literally built into your mecha suit. Like, you are a pilot in like a lot of debt, so much debt that you sold your body to be experimented on. And so you're going to this planet to like help mine some
That's-
resources to pay off your debt and
Sounds
get
very
back a body.
cyberpunk.
It is very cyberpunk. Like, one mission you'll be doing something for one corporation, and then the very next mission hired by that corporation's competitors to undo the work you just did. Right? Like, because it's all like corporate warfare trying to exploit the planet you're on.
Yeah.
But
Very cyberpunk.
Very
like-
cyberpunk.
designing your mecha in this game is by far like just the best experience, right? So my mecha is like this. I'll post it in chat actually. It's this giant wheelchair looking robot with twin Gatling guns. And I can just go around like at high speed just shredding everything in my path.
You also have in real life Gundams? Or...
Yeah, I have a lot of Gundams in real life. Like, as a mecha fan, this is so fun to play, guys.
I
But
want
do
to
you
try
also
it
have
out.
wheelchairs and Gatling guns?
I'm sorry?
Do you also have wheelchairs and Gatling guns?
No, not in real life. But what?
Damn.
It's actually really funny because I made this build, and then I went on the subreddit, and then one of the top posts on that subreddit is goes, "Oh, you made the game really easy because you have wheelchairs and Gatling guns." But yeah, this is my build. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, it looks
Right.
fun.
Yeah, like
Looks like a cool guy.
exactly right.
I would
like,
hang out with him.
But yeah, like I think I'm most of the way done my first playthrough, but in order to get all of the story you need to do 3 of them.
Oh, really?
Right. So
Yeah.
like
It's one of those
one
games.
one playthrough is like 20 hours, right? So like 3 should be about 60 by the time I'm done.
Yeah, but
Right.
will you do like all 3 the playthroughs similar or?
No, like each playthrough, like it unlocks more things, right? So like you'll have like some more choices open up as you do each playthrough, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm super excited to get through, right? And again, just like being able to have like that much power in a mech and still go up against like what feels like a pretty fair or even like lopsided fight is just the feeling is so great.
I want to try it out, but not yet. Maybe later.
That's fair.
What about you then, Wes?
Yeah, I've already mentioned it, but I've been playing Final Fantasy VII original. I tried it like 2 years ago, and the combat never clicked to me. I got out of Midgar the last time, and it was like I think out 8 hours of gameplay, I think. But I don't know. In those 8 hours, I never really figured out how exactly the game, the fighting and the materia worked. So, uh, seeing the Rebirth was about to release, and people were saying, "Oh, you have to play the original to really get the story of the new game." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try, give it another try."
That in itself is pretty funny. Like,
Why?
oh, to fully understand the remake, you actually need to play the original
Oh no,
game.
nah, the fans
like-
say so.
Yeah.
the
No, I
fans say
understand,
so.
but it's the statement's very funny to me.
Yeah. The
Like, let's make a
developer.
remake. And I was like, well, to actually understand the remake, you need to play the original game first.
I like the developer even say you don't have to play remake to understand Rebirth because they will do a sum up of the first game in this one. But the to have more impact, they recommend to play the original, and I want to have more impact, so I'm gonna play the original.
That's fair.
But I decided to look up how it exactly works, to actually dig in how it works, and it's actually very simple, but my very smooth brain just didn't understand, and now it finally understands. And now I'm actually enjoying the game, so I'm glad I do.
It's good to hear.
Like a true Final Fantasy VII fan, I am.
Not a fan of Final Fantasy, just Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's same
I
for
mean,
Persona fans. You're a
That
Persona
is
5
its
fan,
own
or-
series, right? according to Smash, Final Fantasy VII is the franchise, not Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, all those games are standalone, so in a way they are all their own franchises.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm also Baldur's Gate 3 is on a break. I got into Act 3 and I had like 600,000 mission points I could go to, quest points, and I got a
You
bit
got
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I did a bit, and I was like, no, I'm gonna save this for another time because I feel like it's too much for now, and I want some different kind of gameplay now. So, yeah, that's why I booted up Final Fantasy VII. And other than that, not. I have some other games on backlog, but that's for the other time. So I'm gonna finish that first, when I finish that, I'm gonna try Baldur's Gate 3 again. And if that doesn't match, I'll probably try Bayonetta 3. But I'll see how it goes.
When is that releasing?
Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
That came out last year, exactly a year.
Really?
I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I keep forgetting
I'm
Bayonetta
so
3 came
behind.
out last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I did start a playthrough like 2 weeks ago. But I know, it didn't really click yet, even though at the other hand I really like what they show, the visuals, the story, the funny jokies.
Funny
But-
jokes.
Oh yeah, of
Uh,
course, because they also released their Origins with little
Yeah.
girl Bayonetta. Yeah.
Yeah, Origins came out this year. I
Yeah.
think in January or February, not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Bayonetta is always a weird game to me. Bayonetta 2 as well. It's never really clicked, but on the other hand, I like the game. It's very weird. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it even.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's just
It's
weird.
just weird.
That's how it is.
It's so weird.
What about you?
I had been playing Chants of Sonar,
Never.
which
Nope.
is an indie game. If you like indie games, and if you like puzzle games, and if you're a language nerd like me, then it's an amazing game. It's
It looked
about
pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty much. I think this isn't really spoiler territory because the imagery is very overt. I think it's even in the icon. The game is pretty much the Tower of Babel from the Bible,
I felt
Yeah, yeah.
Babel.
and multiple tiers of the tower are inhabited by people speaking different languages. So you go from one place to another, and the character you play doesn't speak any of the languages. So at first you're just met with these symbols that you absolutely do not understand, but through context and clues and like seeing people use words in certain ways, you slowly develop like an understanding of the language, and you need to understand the language to understand how to solve the puzzles. When you solve the puzzles, you get to the next bit.
Okay.
So it's pretty much a combination between learning a language, a fake language, and doing puzzles.
How did you find the game? Like
It
find
was
it?
recommended
Recommended?
by YouTube channel.
I've never seen it or heard it or anything about it, I think.
Yeah, me neither until just a short while ago. It was on Game Maker's Toolkit. If you know that channel.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I've heard of it.
And I finished that because it's a fairly short game. And now I am playing Signalis,
Also never heard of it, I think.
which is also an indie game.
Signalis.
It's very impressive. It was made by two people, which mostly made by two people. But it's I would probably describe it as Silent Hill in space.
I don't even know how to write it. I tried to look it up, but I can't find it.
Signalis. Signalis. As in
Oh, yeah.
signal with
Yeah.
IS at the end.
Oh wait, I recognized it. The art. But
Yeah, it's had some coverage, and
Yeah.
I had it in my wish list, I think, for a while, and I just decided to bite the bullet and get it, and I've been very much enjoying it. It's one of those games that really crawls into my brain, and when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about it.
nice. That's a good sign.
Just think.
That's nice. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
The inspiration it takes from Silent Hill is very obvious, almost too obvious, but I mean, yeah, it's a very good survival horror game if you're into that.
Nice.
And yeah, the story is very weird, and I like weird, so
Like
Yeah.
a good fit.
yeah, perfect fit. That's it.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we made it.
I have,
Yeah.
A viewer's question.
Yeah,
So
you-
We did that.
this is your segment, Wes. Your
my
call to
segment.
action. Your call to action segment.
Welkom bij de viewers question segment. This time, which game do you want to see a remake of?
Wow, how did you come up with that question? Such a
I
good
don't know,
question.
Came up with it myself. But just like last time, everyone responded. Thank you. So this
Everyone
time,
responded.
I hope
Thank you
people
all.
respond this time as well. You can do in the comments or in the server. You know where to find us. And if you have questions for us, once again, leave them in the server. Share this video, give it a like, subscribe, and 5 stars. You know the drill.
Luckily, this one's a short one, so it will encourage people to watch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
only
Yes.
an hour and then 45 minutes. I think. So,
We're getting a 15 minutes longer by the episode. This is going to become an issue.
it's for the people. They want more, and we give more.
Yeah.
That's how we are.
We had a lot to talk about, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Thanks for
that's
listening.
it. That's all you get for this month.
That's all you get.
Bye, Flareon. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for Leslie Flarion.
Thank
I
you,
love you.
Frederick.
Thanks,
No.
Claire, and say hi to your brother. He featured on the podcast.
Yeah, let him know his question from 3 years ago was answered.
Yeah, he finally can sleep.
Give us more super chats.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay.